as they say, scared money makes no money. I have 5 bets that will hit this week in the Big 12, I think, and you should take them on FanDuel. This is Locked On Big 12.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome into Locked On Big 12. I'm Drake Toll from America's #1 Big 12 podcast, Locked On Big 12. Thank you for making this show your first listen every single day. Housekeeping to do. Number 1 on the set of college football kickoff with Gary Patterson and Jesse Holley every Thursday on Fire TV, every Friday right here on Locked On Big 12. Also, by the way, we talk about in the podcast industry, and as someone who does a daily show for you, the everydayer, the highest standard, right? Not mailing in a show, not giving up and you know, making it a bad listening experience. I went back the other day, that show where the co-host guy, his computer was beeping the whole time. That was unlistenable. I'm sorry. That sucks. And I hate doing that to you in the middle of college football season, just giving you a bad product. So I'm going to be better because I should be better for you because you give me every day. And now I'll be the best for you by giving the best bets in the Big 12 this week. Let's start right here. TCU, SMU. I'm going Frogs -6.5. But honestly, like, take the over. Analytically in this game, oh my gosh. TCU is number 128 in the country against the pass, and from an EPA standpoint, that's an efficiency standpoint. Number 64 against the rush. SMU offensively, number 95 throwing the football. That's not very good. Number 40 running the football. They're consistent running the ball. I think TCU is the better team, right? Their defense is bad against the pass, but SMU is bad throwing the football. TCU's defense is okay against the run. SMU's offense is okay running the football. The difference in this game is squarely going to be TCU's ability to score points and score them quickly. SMU's defense, not great against the pass. TCU's offense, elite throwing the football. This could get up into one of those classic, like, 63 to 56 ranges. And the over is probably necessary when these two teams square off in Fort Worth for the last time. But it's more personal to TCU. Their fan base cares. SMU's fan base does not care. In the battle for DFW, there's this I've talked to Coach Patterson a lot about it. There is a hatred that TCU doesn't really share. SMU is kind of lackluster with it. TCU's like, wow, we want to smush you into the ground because you're so irrelevant to us. We're going to pound you, and not pound in the good way. TCU covers the 6.5 here. I'm not even buying a half a point. As long as you can get it at 6.5 right now at FanDuel, that's exactly what I would do. BYU at East Carolina -6.5 as well. I'm going to ride with this line, though I told you a couple of days ago that this may be a rat game, that BYU could struggle. I still think we're comfortable at 6.5. I do not believe that ECU is going to lose. I do not think that ECU is going to lose in this contest by anything less than 7. They will lose by a touchdown. BYU is a touchdown better than ECU. The Cougars throwing the football 88th in the country, but 8th running the ball. Bear Bachmeier will be able to carry the football efficiently. ECU's defense is good. Number 10 against the rush. Number 40 against the pass. But the quality of opponent, and granted, the quality of BYU's opponent hasn't been there either, but ECU losing by 7 to NC State, who I think is 20 or so points worse than BYU. Like, NC State reminds me a bit of a Stanford here. They're in that same category as a Stanford, a Boston College, a UCLA, as just not a Wake Forest is not a very good Power 4 team. BYU can run away with this game. If either team does run away with it, obviously it would be the Cougars. And it's really the defense of BYU that's going to stifle ECU. This is a lower scoring game. Take the under if you can. This is BYU 24, ECU 10. BYU 24, ECU 13. If we go higher scoring, 27-20. In any of those events, 6.5 is covered. I think BYU, because of their efficiency numbers defensively, those efficiency numbers defensively, will win this game and win it possibly going away. Here's the big one. I'm going Texas Tech money line. They are plus 3.5 right now, meaning that if they lose the game by 3, they have covered. They are more than a field goal underdog, and I just don't think that is right for the Red Raiders and Joey McGuire. This is possibly one of the best teams in the country. On paper, they are much more talented than Utah. Number 4 in the nation, throwing the football. Utah's defense is number 2 against the pass. Texas Tech is bad running the football, 88th. Utah's defense, 71st. Where Tech is bad, Utah is bad. Where Tech is elite, Utah is elite. Even on third down, Texas Tech offensively is one of the best in the country, but Utah defensively also one of the best in the country. Look at this, though. Here's where I think the rubber can meet the road a little bit. Utah offensively, although their numbers and efficiencies are very good, they struggle on early downs. Their efficiency on early downs is a lot worse, number 44 in the country, compared to what Texas Tech is on early downs defensively, number 13 in the country. I think that's where the gap is for me. If Texas Tech can force Utah into longer third downs, but Utah's very good on second down, third down. They can force you into longer third downs by putting pressure on Devin Dampier on first down. That's the key to success, the key to victory when you read the analytics. And then they're going to throw the ball around the yard. With Rabbit out, which sucks, by the way, I hate it for the kid. I think Utah, losing another degree of their secondary, will struggle with Baron Morton. And if Texas Tech gets up in this game by 14, by 10, if Joey McGuire doesn't try to go for it on fourth down constantly and just trust the field goal kicker, Texas Tech ends up winning this game. Speaking of winning, I think Baylor is going to win at home against Arizona State. Neither team has been incredibly impressive so far this year. If you watched the Baylor game against an FCS opponent last weekend, they were not great. If you watched Arizona State lose to Mississippi State, they certainly were not great. This game could get sloppy. This game could be not unwatchable necessarily, but rough. Baylor's defense is 118th in America against the rush. Arizona State's offense is number 9 running the football. They're going to gash the Bears. Baylor's got a really good pass defense. Arizona State's offense is terrible throwing the football. 97th in America. What kind of Heisman Trophy contender is Sam Leavitt if he's done effectively nothing for me this season? What does that mean? Arizona State's going to try to run the ball. Baylor's going to not be able to stop the run, and it's going to give an avenue for Arizona State to score. Conversely, for Baylor, they're actually analytically not that great offensively. 52nd throwing, 93rd rushing. Arizona State is not that good analytically defensively. This is another game you probably end up taking the over. But I trust if Dave Aranda, which trusting Dave Aranda is the thing that none of us should do. If Dave Aranda can actually sell out against the rush, Sam Leavitt just hasn't looked good. Sawyer Robertson has looked Heisman caliber in those first 2 games for Baylor, despite being lackluster in a game where you can afford to be lackluster against Samford. Baylor wins this game. They win it they cover the 2.5 in this contest as well at home, 30-27, 35-31. And it's tight, but it's the best bet for me this week. I lean the Bears at home, though you don't get much home field advantage. I don't know if you guys have, Baylor's just not, how do I put it? They're not they're not a tough place to play. That's what I'm going for here. And I'm sorry. As somebody who went there, I wish they were, but it's just not a tough place to play. Kansas, West Virginia, plus 14 for West Virginia. They will probably lose this game because Kansas is so good running the football this year. Jalen Daniels is so good running the football. West Virginia probably loses this game. But by 14, no, because West Virginia defensively, 18th against the pass, 32nd against the rush. That's where I think Kansas is very good throwing the football. I should say very good against the run, their run defense. And that's where West Virginia made its bet against Pitt, was trying to run the football. Finally putting Ty out there and letting him go wild. This final score is 31-21, 31-24. Kansas wins it by a touchdown, but not by 14 points. Disrespectful, not by 14 points. Those are your best bets this week. TCU minus 6.5 against SMU. Give me BYU at ECU minus 6.5. Texas Tech at Utah. Their money line. I'm taking them to win the whole thing. Baylor against Arizona State minus 2.5. And then Kansas is at home against West Virginia and does not cover 14 points. Those are the best bets this week. This is Locked On Big 12. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team, and it's every single day. Today's show is brought to you by DoorDash. Just like Baron Morton delivered last week for Texas Tech, DoorDash will deliver for you every single Saturday. It was him coming through in the clutch pretty much the entire 4 quarters. And DoorDash will come through for you, no hesitation, no delay. You've been watching week after week. DoorDash is there for you every Saturday. Just like Baron Morton delivers, DoorDash delivers those Saturdays with DoorDash Streaks. You save every Saturday that you order, stack it all up all season. Save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. Order this Saturday. Keep the streak alive. Fuel your game day only with DoorDash. Terms apply. Promo period through November 18. Today's show is also brought to you by, that's comfort right there, FanDuel. FanDuel is where I'm going to go with these best bets all weekend long. I love Texas Tech money line. I think that TCU can blow out SMU. I believe that Baylor will win at home, and all of those I will place at FanDuel. And right now, new customers can bet just $5. And if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel because it's so easy and the money goes straight into my pocket after I win. So if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. FanDuel.com. Go there. Do it today. Those are your best bets. Proceed with caution. Gambling problem, do the helpline thing. Let's go win this week. You and me. Let's go win. This has been It Always Will Be Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.